Did so well to the outback, it's like they were made for each other. Up next in our great escape, we travel into Kings Canyon, Uluru and Catajuda. At Kings Canyon, it's time to let off some steam and hit the trail on a quad bike. Just about anyone can hire a bike and head out to explore the green and red of this amazing landscape.
Camels.
These blokes are everywhere, and as well as getting into the terrain from the quad, it's another great spot worth checking out from above. Kings Canyon is another incredible oasis of water and greenery in the arid red centre. This is one of the richest and most diverse ecosystems in Central Australia, with over 600 species of native plants flourishing deep in the canyons. The twisting canyons follow the path of Kings Creek, including a valley so rich and lush that it's known locally as the Garden of Eden.
'Cause I'm a red dirt kind of man. Well, this hot, dry plain looks much the same on both sides of the border. And that lake on the road ahead, well, it sure as hell ain't water, but I keep driving. Drinking the dust.
You thirsty?
Yeah.
Well, you won't get any better water than this. So your little trick. When you go down to the water, just before you drink, if you blow it, and that spreads all the gribblies out, and then...
Oh, cool.
That is the best water in the world. Our next national park on this great escape is the home of the most famous rock in Australia, if not the world. It seems to happen so suddenly. A red monolith just jumps out of the desert. Uluru, or Ayers Rock, one of the greatest natural wonders of the world. The two parts of the national park are Uluru, the single rock, and Catajuda, a group of 36 steep-sided domes, also known as the Olgas. The highest of these domes is Mount Olga, rising 1,500 feet above the surrounding sandy plains. Me, I absolutely love Catajuda, or the Olgas. Sensational. Each time I come out here, I seem to find more wildlife hanging around here than around Uluru. And Cata means head, and Judah means many, many heads. Stands to reason, doesn't it? When you look at it, fantastic formation. There's Uluru off in the background. From up here, you can see the relationship between these two astonishing locations and why the traditional owners, the Aboriginal people, think of them as two parts of the same thing. But for most Australians, the centrepiece is that single monumental rock. Isn't that the most amazing red colour you've ever seen in your life? No matter how you see it, from above like this or close up on the ground, Uluru is absolutely awe-inspiring. A single piece of rock surrounded by the fantastic Central Australian desert. There's no place more sacred to the Aboriginal people. For them, climbing on top of the rock is like desecrating sacred ground. And there's more than enough to see walking around its 6-mile circumference base. The whole rock is rich in culture and religious meaning. So, sweetheart, see how it dictates no cameras, no filming, no walking, no standing, no climbing? And that's because this is Anangu, which is a women's sacred site, alrighty? And this area is important as a sensitive site in the traditional law of Aboriginal women. So for us, we'll respect that. We won't go anywhere near it, and we won't take any film of it, and you won't be climbing on it. How about that?
Yeah, and you're not allowed to look at it.
No, I won't look. Just like an iceberg, there's more of Uluru hidden underground than we can see on top. 2/3 of its bulk is deep in the sand, up to 1.5 miles below the surface. And that unique, almost glowing, ever-changing colour is from the rare composition of the rock surface. Yeah, come on. There's no signs. See, you're not allowed to go down there, but you're allowed to come up in here. Yeah. It's a ripper, isn't it? How's that? It's like a big wave. Really enjoy the ambience of Ayers Rock. And it's a very spiritual place. It's actually moving, it really is. It's Australia's spiritual and cultural heart. It's very, very central in Australia, and it just pumps life into this great country of ours. Doesn't it, mate?
Everyone agrees. You must see Uluru at sunset. The changing colours have to be seen to be believed.
Like the kangaroo, the koala, the crocodile, Uluru is a very big Australian icon. And if you come over here, you've got to check it out. Australia's spiritual heart. There's all sorts of accommodation if you want to stay here, from the upmarket places that'll cost you a mozza, all the way down to camping areas.
And you're never far from wildlife.
Where'd he go? There's a sand goanna just in front of me. You can see his tracks right here. Going round the bush. I'm on to him. Oh, here we go, here we go. Now the trick is to get close enough and then make a quick dash at him. Get within range. Come here, little fella. Hey, look at you, look at you. Have a look at this. What a little champion. Here he is, the famous sand goanna. And they can run. By crikey, they can run. Sometimes they call them racehorse lizards. For good reason. They run flat out like a lizard drinking. I nearly missed him too. And you can see he's got... Can you stick your tongue out there, buddy? They've got a forked tongue, just like a snake. Not yet. There it is, that big, whippy forked tongue. That's his sense of smell. And he's cruising around looking for insects or any other little lizards until I stumbled onto him. He took off, but he didn't hit the accelerator fast enough. I was able to catch up. The amazing feature of the sand goanna is just how fast they can run. He's over half tail. If you can see his body, which starts at his back legs, rightio, and then look at the length of that tail. And that is very dynamic. Great for the lizard, for speed, and he's in great condition. I can tell that because he's got a nice big fat tail. That's where they deposit their fat. Isn't she beautiful? Now watch this for speed. So, just get away from those footprints there. Now watch this for speed. Ready? Go!
The train is like a mobile city, a small community on the move where you get to meet people from every part of the world.
Red Kangaroo, train manager receiving Murray. There he is, the Iron Man! Wow! He's carrying the sweeper.
For most journeys, the Ghan is half a mile long, with 2 locos and 25 carriages. But extra carriages can sometimes increase its length to almost a mile. Our next stop includes the border as we cross from a territory to a state and a point of geographical significance.
This is Culgara siding. Culgara is the geographical centre of gravity in Australia.
Which means if Australia was balancing on a pin, it would balance perfectly.
Like that.
The Ghan may be the soul and character of this rail line, but there are far more freight trains than passenger services. A massive amount of goods from the south is exported through Darwin as Australia's closest port to Asia.
How you going, sweetheart? We're on our way, walking on foot to South Australia. Hey, what do you know about the border between South Australia and Northern Territory?
Well, that's Northern Territory.
No, that's South Australia. I'm going to have to do this now. Knucklehead. Right here is the border between Northern Territory and South Australia.